Virgo, your weekly love tarot reading begins with a Nine of Wands, Five of Wands, a Knight of Wands, and the Lovers. Your person coming into this reading comes in with a Ten of Swords, a Six of Swords, a Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. At the bottom of this deck for this reading, you have a Page of Pentacles. So Page Pentacle energy is confidence, coming in to get work done, to get all the little bitty tasks finished and completed, being attentive to that. Let's see how that plays with this reading. Let's jump right in. You have a Nine of Wands for your energy coming into this period, and your person has a Ten of Swords. So you feel like you're at the end of a marathon, really. You're still continuing to struggle through in a particular area in your life. We're going to get clarifying cards to go deeper and see where this is in your life. But your person comes in with a completion. Ten of Swords, they're done. There's a certain connection or situation rather in their life that they are completely done with, that they have sort of come through a period that was very difficult. I'm going to say a lot of sort of slights to their ego. They've had to pick themselves up and rebuild themselves in their confidence and their security several times, right, as a result of this period. But they're kind of really coming through this with some healing, right? Now, let's see, what are you struggling with? You have a struggle here with something. So let us see what it is. Nine of Cups, you're happy, but there's a struggle in having that actual full love, that bam, that completedness. And I think there's a feeling here that you are just not present in the current relationship with this individual here. Like, it feels like it's a battle. You're happy. You're generally happy. You're surface happy here, but it feels like deep down there's a battle here. Like you're really not letting them know how you truly feel in terms of this connection, right? I think that there's a struggle inside of you, and that struggle seems to indicate that it's because you're not completely happy with the way the relationship is or with the person that you're with. Six of Wands comes in for them. They're really going through a phase of, in and of themselves, aside from you, they're doing really well. They're coming through this difficult period. I think it may have something to do with their family or their work or colleagues, but they've come through that and they have a victory. And yes, you're coming across as quite happy, but that Nine of Wands is strong. You still have an internal conflict, an unhappiness, a struggle inside of you. Now, Five of Wands is how you see them. Six of Swords is how they see you. So this kind of speaks a little bit more to why you may be feeling a bit like you're struggling in this connection, because it feels like you're dealing with somebody who's really brings a lot of competitive energy to the relationship. It's not supportive. It doesn't necessarily feel very supportive. You may be dealing with somebody who's extremely self-centered. Six of Swords is how they see you. They see that you are ready to kind of turn your back and walk away. So again, there's something about this person's energy that just doesn't sit with you well. And yes, you're having fun with them. Nine of Cups, you have fun. It's enjoyable. The sex might be okay. All of that sort of thing. You know what I mean? But there's something about them that brings strife into your life here. It brings very competitive strife. You may be dealing with somebody who has multiple lovers. You may be dealing with multiple. I don't think it's you per se, Virgo, but these readings can be vice versa. But nevertheless, it just feels like you're having to compete with a lot of things in their life to be with them, and that feels like a struggle. Like this turmoil that they have, you're dragged into it as a result of interacting with them, and it's just exhausting for you. Yeah, and there's your, okay, well, here we go. There's your betrayal and death for them. So something happens here that really feels like a betrayal to you, and it brings out the fire in you, right? Again, this person may recently have cheated, okay? Or you're coming into a period where something is happening that is really deceptive and a betrayal, as I say, but it feels almost like third-party energy here. with that Five of Wands. Highly competitive. Definitely dealing with somebody who has somebody else, okay? This person that you're dealing with has somebody else, and it's getting very messy. All of this here is getting extremely messy. You're already exhausted from it. Death comes in from them. So there's a real transformation that comes in here. They may decide to pick you, but this is a feeling of who are they going to pick? And meanwhile, you've been dragged into this, and there's a fundamental change that happens here. But they may decide to pick you. And why do I say that? Because they bring Queen of Pentacles as their role in this relationship. So you're dealing with somebody who, they understand what they have to bring. They know they have to bring their mind, body, and soul. They have to bring everything. Queen of Pentacles puts her all into manifesting her goals. And they know that they have to do that here with you because they run the risk of losing you otherwise. Knight of Wands is how you see yourself in this role and see your role in this relationship. And again, it's a feeling here that you are very fiery, sort of moving forward in a sense of like, listen, this is the goals I have. This is what I want. You're going to stand up for yourself. I mean, you're not... This betrayal that happens isn't like, oh, poor me. You come back fiery as a result of it. And I think you put some ultimatums down on the table for your person. Like either you pick me and you stop dealing with so blah, blah, blah. Or, you bring a lot of heat, okay, to this connection right now. Lover's energy. And Queen of Wands is how you guys possibly turn up. But let's get some more clarity. Yeah, you're just fired up by the whole thing. And, it feels like listen, it doesn't feel like you're fighting for this because you're that much in love. You're fighting and bringing the heat because of your dignity and your pride, which has really been hurt. Death comes in, Four of Pentacles. Death for your security comes in for you too. Yeah, a feeling of, am I going to lose everything here with this person? And you're like, nah, I'm not, you know what I mean? This is really why you're bringing a lot of fire, because it's like you've probably invested a lot into this person. And it's like, hang on a second, I'm not prepared to lose my investment. I'm not prepared to lose that. Five of Wands for your person, again, coming in. The strife and the bickering is not over. How do you guys turn out? Well, your possible outcomes here, Lovers and Queen of Wands. It feels to me like this connection here is one that's meant to be for you. You love this person. There's a deep, deep connection here, but they're going to have to mature, Queen of Wands. They're going to have to really step up their emotional maturity here because there's so much messiness. It's so messy and you're not willing to let it go. Rightly so, because you do feel like this is strong love connection here, but it's so damn messy that your person just they're going to have to bring their big person game, big girl, big boy game to this, because this competitive energy is so strong here. It just feels so much like a love triangle here. You're involved in some kind of love triangle that has just gotten a little bit, feels like almost out of hand, and you're starting to feel like, shit, am I going to lose everything I put into this? Like you're facing the possibility of losing, some really real shit here, like, money, a place to live, things like that. It's like really being threatened here. And so you're going to you continue to come in hard with this Knight of Wands in terms of, listen, whatever shenanigans or shicey stuff you've been up to, you're not going to take what I'm not going to lose what I put into this connection. Spirit of the Gargoyle, Intimidation, Guardian, Protector. Yeah, that's what I feel here. You're like really fiercely protecting this love connection. There's not an attitude of like, oh, well, you cheated on me or this other person came in, so I'm gone. You're fighting for it. Spirit of Hecate and Spirit of the Ring, a contract, a promise. Yeah, you're fighting for this hard, this relationship very hard. Spirit of Hecate, Crossroads is here. Ghosts of the past, perhaps, coming in. Look, you've been around this block before, but again, this connection with this person is so strong that you're not letting it go. And if anything, you're fiercely protecting it from whomever this other third-party energy is coming in. Scorpion and Bat. So the Bat and the Scorpion, wow. strong fire and air. But here we go. Scorpion energy, similar in many ways to Scorpio, but we're talking about the animal spirit here. The Scorpion is very unforgiving, very unforgiving, will strike first and ask questions later. Very severe, oftentimes finds itself alone because of that, because it is so highly self-protective and so quick to sort of attack. Bat energy comes in, air energy. The bat is there to sort of help us. The bat animal spirit is there to help us get through the dark, things that are hidden in the dark, secrets, areas of this relationship that really need to come out into the light of day in order for you to have this moving forward with this Lovers and Queen of Wands. I'm not saying that, it doesn't feel like a breakup here. It just doesn't. It does. Your person sees you turn your back a little bit emotionally and pulling away. But if anything, I feel like a strong desire to fight for this relationship here. And that's going to take a lot of work and a lot of, as I said, looking in the dark, looking at the dark places of this connection, which may be painful and difficult, but are necessary, right? Are very, very necessary. All right, Virgo, I'm going to leave it at that. This is your weekly love tarot reading. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, or share my content. All of that, I thank you very much when you take the time to do that. But that's it. I wish you all love, life, and happiness, and I hope to see you on my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot, next Thursday for your weekly love tarot reading. Bye-bye now.